scream into it.
Hello, everyone, and good morning, and welcome to the Hello Harem podcast. I'm your host, Alex Luby, and I'm joined, as always, by the horniest of homies to sail the seven seas, Mr. Jonathan Semrau, Anthony Luby, Luke Farnsworth, and our anime aficionados that are...
Happy Catter Day, retards.
And Goofy. We're here with Goofy today. He's our special guest. Goofy, how you doing, man? What's going on?
That's not even...
Oh, how's the wife and kids, man?
It sounds painful. Sounds painful.
And it's like when Goofy's getting tortured. They're like, "Where's the? What do the numbers mean?" So when they waterboard him,
Oh, God.
You're gonna spit it everywhere. Don't do it. It's not working.
Good thing the laptops are over here.
can't even drink it. It's just happening.
It's not gonna work. You're gonna spit everywhere. I doubt that got me.
That's when he's being waterboarded.
Got it.
What a devious lick they pulled on Goof.
They pulled my man Goof to the side and took him to the gulag.
You know this shit.
This shit.
Y'all have electronics in front of you. What the fuck?
Oh,
Yeah, we play.
Today's a special edition of the podcast, not because it's any episode-wise special.
Nothing special about it at all.
For the fact that it's like 11:30 in the morning and we just had brunch.
Yeah, we did a breakfast potluck.
It was Alex and mine was probably the most disappointing.
Yeah. So
Jay, why don't you? Yeah.
So I don't know. You know
Bottom.
being in your 20s is, when it's the wildest time of your life. So basically, we decided to have a breakfast potluck.
You'd think that would mean we're gonna make eggs or something.
Yeah, but we just decided everyone's going to go to the store and just bring something. And so Luke brought juice, Thorpe brought coffee, Tippy brought donuts. I went to Mickey D's and got some bacon, egg, and cheese bagels and muffins. When we got here, me and Thorpe grabbed our bagels, started nomming, and then we realized after Luke and Tippy opened theirs that they gave them the muffin, the cheese, the bacon, and they didn't put eggs on it for some fucking reason, just because they're goons.
They gooned us hard. They got us.
They got your ass.
We got
gooned.
Nate.
It doesn't sound that bad. Just bacon and cheese and a muffin. That's not terrible.
It's from McDonald's.
Go check out our Twitter. I took a picture of one and it just looks sad. Have you ever seen a sad McMuffin?
Yes.
Well, you have if you look at our Twitter.
Yeah, well, you have if you look at our Twitter. That'll be up after the podcast.
That's a devious lick.
We got hit with a lick hard.
McDonald's hit us with it.
Yeah, they're gooning,
They
guys.
hit us with a nay.
Straight good. Me and the twins have a story, unless you told it last week.
Mm-mm.
You saved it?
I didn't say it.
Save it?
Because we didn't. We did the podcast Friday.
Oh yeah, and then we went and did it Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually this is fresh off the printers. So this past weekend, me and the twins went to Columbus to visit our buddies Matt and Josh, and we decided that night we were going to head out to the bars. So we start off the night by pre-gaming, as you do. Matt drank like 3/4 of a bottle of those pre-mixed margaritas. I got Bud Light.
He drank a shit ton
He
of that,
drank
dude.
so much of that.
You know those big, tall, square bottles by Don Quixote?
What's
I
the
don't know.
Don Quajilos?
Don Hito?
San Marzano?
What is it?
I don't
Don-
know.
Don Julio.
No, God. It's they make tequila, but it's not
Dude, it's
1800. But it's not 1800.
It is Don something.
Something Jose. Don
Jose Cuervo?
Jose Cuervo.
Yeah.
Don Quixote.
That's big box storage.
Dude,
That's a story from Spanish culture where a man hallucinates that windmills are giants and he goes to fight them.
That dude was just tripping
That sounds
on acid.
awesome.
That guy was on shrooms. Okay, but so Matt drank a shit ton of those. We went out to this bar called Threes. Luke, if you know it, since you
No.
lived in Columbus for a minute.
I didn't pay attention to any of the bars because I don't like bars.
So we went out to this bar called Threes, and I guess their thing is like $10 bottle of champagne. And so all four of us got bottles of champagne. We sat down at a table. We were enjoying our night. Matt's girlfriend comes. Matt doesn't feel too good. Takes him home. His girlfriend takes him back to his apartment, where I guess he, as Kyle described it, yell vomited. So I guess he was upstairs screaming and punching the toilet and vomiting like a lot. So when we were sitting at the bars, I thought it was Thorpe, but I guess it was Tippy, suggested that we just start talking in Australian accents. Just fucking goon around and start talking in Australian accents. So we agree. And we decide we're going to go to Midway. So we go to Midway, and this guy doesn't want to let us in. So I go, oh yeah, we're from out of town, and we don't have student IDs, so we need to get into this bar. We've got some friends waiting on us. Could you just let us in? He said no. So he didn't let us in.
No.
So being the clever goons we are, we saw these two guys standing there. And we walked up and started talking to him, saying, we're from Australia. Can you get us into the bar? And the guy was like, yeah, I'll get you in. Totally believed that we were Australian. Got us in. We paid him with a Midway milk.
Thanks, Tristan.
Thanks. That was his name? Thanks, Tristan. After that, we wanted to get into Sky Bar, which I guess is hard to get into. And we learned that because it still, even though we were Australian, took us 2 or 3 hours to get in there. I think it was a pain in the ass. So we got into this place called Big Bar, and then we're walking around. We meet these 2 girls that got us into there. And we're telling them we're Australian, and they're just eating this shit up, totally believing everything we're saying. Whatever. Somehow we end up at a Subway where they have a red marker where they mark our hands, and we get up into Sky Bar. Now, once we're in Sky Bar, we can really get creative. We can start saying shit that doesn't even make sense.
Because our goal has been accomplished.
Our goal has been accomplished. Yeah, we wanted to get into Sky Bar and we wanted to act Australian. So far, we're hitting it on the head. So we start getting weird with it. They ask us for slang, and Anthony comes up with an absolute zinger of a slang term.
Oh, it was scuttled.
He said,
you said that earlier today, and I was like, where the fuck did scuttled come from?
He said, Thorpe was like, yeah, when you get drunk, we call it you scuttled. For those of you that know ships, scuttling is voluntarily sinking a boat. That's not a term for being drunk. So he made up scuttled. I had these girls convinced that lugs, I don't know if anybody in the audience knows what lugs are. Lugs are a discount shoe brand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had these girls convinced that lugs were the premier shoe brand of Australia. They asked where I went to college. I said I go to Brisbane U. Brisbane U is not a college. If they look it up, they will know I'm full of shit. The only college in Brisbane is Queensland University, and I didn't say I went there. And then at one point, they almost caught me in the act. They were like, I pulled out some money to give this girl money because she bought me a drink. And I was like, here, I feel bad. Take the money. And she was like, oh, you have American money. And I was like, first off, yeah, don't. I was like, yeah, there's a currency exchange in the airport. And she was like, oh, that's cool. What's the money called in Australia?
It's called dollars. They're called dollars.
I didn't know that. I was in my head, I'm like, fuck, what is it called? Is it called the Kanga dollar? I don't know. So I just went, we just call them dollars. And she was like, oh, cool. And then she walked away, and I was like, fuck. And I pulled out my phone. I was like, what is Australian money? And I was like, I nailed it.
The Australian dollar.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm like, that's fucking, I killed that one. But yeah, we had everybody and their mother convinced we were Australian. I got a bunch of girls to take a picture with Anthony, which made him very uncomfortable. I got one of them to give him a little peck on the cheek, but I don't have that picture, and I'm pissed about it because it was on her phone. It was a good night. We got sufficiently scuttled.
So it was sufficiently scuttled.
This girl took a picture and put it on her Snap. She took a picture of us and put it on her story with the caption "sufficiently scuttled."
No, she did. Are you
She
serious?
did. She did. And Thorpe was like, "Fucking." I'm like, dude, come on. And then this one redhead kid walked up and was like, "You guys aren't really Australian." And I was like, I gotta make him believe me. And I was like, whatever, blood nut. I call him blood nut. And he was like, oh, never mind, that's Australian as fuck. And then he walked away. And then his friend walked over and was apologized to me. He's like, hey man, I'm sorry. He's really drunk. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm like, he's the only one that knew. He's the only one that did know what he was talking about.
I didn't know half of this happened.
Yeah.
Why'd you call him Blood Nut? You could have just called him a bogan, and it would have.
We
were
calling
lot, yeah.
everyone bogan.
Yeah.
All night. We had white American women calling each other bogans. just like these girls, and some of them were like weird about it. They're like, I don't know, is it a slur? And I'm like, kinda, but not really.
Not really.
It's just redneck.
It's like redneck, and they were like being weird about it. And I'm like, whatever, you're being bogans.
Fucking bogan.
Oh God! And then there was like two more things, and then I'll end this story. But like, so one thing, this girl was talking about how this guy kept walking up and like grinding on her, and I was like, I just turn around and give him the old kangaroo 1-2.
Yeah, the old 1-2 has made its rounds.
I said, give him the old kangaroo 1-2. Right there, as soon as I said the old kangaroo 1-2, she should have. You're full of shit. Like right there, she should have. But she was like, oh, haha, that's so funny, so Australian.
I like to think that like when the night ended and everyone went home, they were like, those guys were full of fucking shit.
I really hope they did.
Idiots.
I hope so.
I would like to believe that, but two of them Snapchat me still, and they're still asking me questions.
What?
Yeah. Like if I.
How's Australia doing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
See, there they are.
That is so funny.
They Snapchat me about once a day and ask me about things. I sent them a picture of my lugs back home, and
That's scuttled.
Dude, they lost their shit.
That's scuttled.
No, it was drunk.
Get to the best part of the story though, where like the night's over and it's a couple days past.
So I got one more thing.
Okay.
One of them asked me if I could do an American accent.
Really?
So you just started talking?
No, even better. She was like, can you do an American accent? And I was like, I can give it a try. What do you want me to say? She was like, can you say car? And I was like, car. She was like, no, say car. And I was like, car. Like she was like, wow, you got that really fast. And I was like, thanks, I tried. She was like, and she was like, wow, you're really good at that. I'm like, appreciate it. And then I just went right back into it. Like, I could just talk normally, and they believed I was just doing an American accent.
Imagine when Chris Broad did his American accent. My name's Dave.
I'm
Dave from Japan.
Dave from Japan.
It was really good.
I like the video the Chinese do that's like, watch, look at me, I'm an American.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'll use my credit card. It's like,
I think I'll use my credit card.
is this gluten-free?
Is this gluten-free?
Is this grass-fed?
That is funny as hell.
That video is really.
The video is really good.
Tippy, what is the part you wanted me to say?
Jenna's friend or something like that.
God, yeah. So a couple days passed, and we're back home at this point. And I called my sister the night before and told her this whole story. And Jenna was laughing her ass off. She's like, I can't believe you guys got away with that. Your accents weren't even that good. And I was like, no, they're pretty shitty, actually. And she was just amazed we got away with it. So she's out at the bar that night. Or no, the next night, because I told her the night before. And one of her friends like introduces her to this guy who's like a friend of his. And he was like, hey, this is my buddy. He goes to OSU. And they started like chatting it up. My sister says something along like she's like kind of starts telling him this story. She's like, oh my god, my brother, blah blah blah, because I think he was wearing the same like Sydney, Australia shirt.
Jeez.
Yeah, like he was wearing the shirt. And so my sister was like, oh my god, my brother just went to some bars in OSU and acted Australian. And this guy was like, I met some Australians. And she was like, do you remember their names? And he goes, the one I talked to, his name was Anthony. And my sister pulls out her phone and goes, is this him? And he goes, yeah. And she goes, he's not Australian. He's from Canton, Ohio. And then dude is heartbroken. He's like, oh my god, I talked to him all night. I was telling him about Lake Erie. Like he's like they kept telling me things about Australia. Were they lying? Do they know anything? Like he was totally heartbroken because he likes Australia like we like Japan. So to him that was like an amazing experience. And we were like, I told Jenna, like, make sure he knows, like, we weren't being malicious. Most of the stuff we said was from a reliable source, that not meaning Scuttled, and Lugs are not the premier brand, and Brisbane U's not real. but like most of it. And so, you know, he was like really, really upset. And then so Jenna calls me and like is telling me this, and she's like, I'm with this guy who met you the other night. When you were Australian. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Put him on the phone. And Jenna's like, my brother wants to talk to you. And he goes, I don't want to talk to him. Like he was really upset. Like, cause he thought we were making fun of him or whatever. So, long story short, I'm going down to OU next weekend, and Jenna's gonna surprise him by introducing him to me.
Hey, what's up? I'm the liar you met the other
Yeah,
night.
because Jenna was like, he's coming back down on the weekend of the 16th to stay with his buddy again. So if you're here at the same time, I'm gonna introduce you to. And Jenna said, try not to do the Australian accent. He might be upset.
Well, there's your answer. People did believe you.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Dude, he was busted up.
Just what are the odds, of like any situation you're in? You meet someone a couple, like a week later.
You don't sound like real people from Australia.
Here's the odds.
I
That's
think
my
it
sister's
helped sell
friend.
it that everyone was probably pretty
That's my sister's friend.
shit-faced.
This
Yeah.
is the girl we met at OSU. They were hanging out the other night.
Oh,
Actually-
that's so lovely.
Yeah, last night. This is my sister's friend on the story of one of the girls we met on the Australian night.
It's just like the odds for those things to fall into place. It's just,
Yeah.
It makes life interesting.
It probably helps that everyone was scuttled.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sufficiently.
Dude, we couldn't have gotten away with it. Because the more drunk I got, the more I forgot how to do the accent.
Yeah.
Like, my accent wasn't good to begin with, but when I started getting drunk, it started bordering on British. And then Tippy would say, or I would say something like Tippy or Thorpe. I'd be like, guys, I'm losing the accent. And they would just be like, no, you're not. No, you're doing all right. And they'd start like doing it to me, and I would be like, Brisbane, Miles, Sydney. And I was like, oh, got it back. Let's get out of.
You're like half Scottish.
Yeah, like
Books jelly.
We should have done Glasgow accents.
these guys are from Glasgow. No.
Have you ever heard the Glasgow accent?
Yes.
It's scuttled.
I don't think I have.
It is.
It's scuttled.
It is inaudible. Absolutely inaudible.
Literally, what Tippy was just doing is how they sound when like they talk.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Yes, it is
They're
so
basically
crazy.
It's scuttled. Like it's.
You're not using it right. Our fake slang is being mistreated. Scuttled means drunk.
It sounds like these guys are always drunk.
Thus, they're always scuttled.
Always, dude. They cannot speak.
That's
It is awesome. There's this one interview with this guy. This news reporter's interviewing him, and I have no idea what the fuck he is saying, and I don't think she does either.
It's
Have you seen the one interview with like the Scottish guy who's talking about like how he almost got hit by a car and the car did like a barrel roll past him, and he's doing
And he's like just like that.
he's doing the interview, and this car like flies off the road and rolls into a cornfield, and he goes just like that. Like, just
I haven't seen that before.
it's funny
just like
because he's
that.
talking about he's like it was a car and it was flying at me and then it flew off the road and did it happened
just like that.
just like that.
Well, before we get into like anime of the week or any like topics, I have some news, guys. Some crazy news that we should be all proud of, right?
Yeah.
So as you know, we have Neil. He's just vibed. He's been a member of the podcast since A1 day one, right?
Mhm.
Ram, her pink hair.
Not day one.
I don't
but
think
you
Neil
know.
has. He hasn't been here the whole time.
Neil's been here since like episode 8.
He's been here for a while.
Sure.
Yeah, he's a horny homie enough.
He's been around.
Yeah, he's definitely the
around.
flagship animal of the show.
Round, get around. He
And
gets
Ram,
around.
Ram and Neil have quite the relationship. Well,
Right.
what they've been keeping behind closed doors is their intimate relationship, right? So I found out the other week that
Oh,
Neil and Ram had a love child. So,
You're holding it upside down, aren't you?
yep. Neil's a father, guys.
it's got his eyes.
Wait, I think Neil has two different colored eyes.
He has a brown one and a black one. Dude,
Yeah, Neil's a father.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Where did you get this?
that's Neil's kid. Neil's a dad.
Neil and Ram.
This gave me like really good memories of when we first got Neil and I used him as a pillow.
I mean, it's like
I remember
He
that.
wouldn't even be a good pillow. Like if you put
He
pressure
was
on
an
him, he just
awesome
dis-
pillow.
he
What do
just
you mean?
disperses.
I slept
pretty-
so nice.
I'm not gonna front. This made me really happy. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Be gentle. She's baby.
All right, once
She's
again,
baby.
we have to find room for this.
What do we?
No, we
Oh,
have.
wait, I know.
We have room.
If we touch the
That
table,
is
it's
cute as
falling.
fuck.
What do we name it?
I don't
don't
know.
know.
So we
Okay,
have
so it's
Neil and Ram,
What's a mixture of Neil and Ram?
Nam,
Nam.
Real,
this is
Real.
Real.
Real?
It's real.
I don't know.
No,
Should
that's
we-
its identity.
Yeah, but it kind of like.
What if
Gets
it
in
goes
the
to?
way.
What if it goes to the BMV?
It gets lost.
That's true. What if it gets lost in the grocery
So
store?
are we in agreement on real?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm
It's a mixture
sold.
of Ram and
I know.
Neil.
I'm kind of with you, Jay. I
Real.
don't know if I'm sold yet.
Do you like Nam better?
I kind of like Nam.
Nam's pretty good.
I kind of like real
I don't
because this
like
cat
Nam.
Cat will grow up to be a pop star.
Well, we gotta have majority.
I don't like Nam
Why don't we
because
Alright.
that
gamble?
reminds me of Nam.
Why don't we gamble on it?
I don't want to gamble
We're not gambling.
because I want something we're all happy with.
Uh,
You know what? Leave in the comments what we should name this
Yeah.
little love bucket.
What are we gonna name this kid?
Neil and Ram are bad at making names,
Yeah.
so
They're bastardized.
they put it on us to name their kid.
They bastardized their child, by the way.
Yeah, leave a comment with a couple names.
Ram
it's
and
a girl,
Neil.
So
Ram and Neil aren't married and they had a child. In the eyes of Christ, they're all going to hell.
even the child, though, it had no say.
The child is going to hell first.
Especially the child.
Ram's always writing Neil.
Ew. It's fucking gross, dude.
I just
Stuffed
really,
animals.
we have not seen Neil's face in,
been so
in
long.
so long.
Dude, it's
Covered
like
by
slowly
Apo.
decompressing.
All roads lead to Rem and Ram falling over. Oh, I forgot this was in here.
Apo.
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, you forgot Sailor Moon. Don't shake Sailor Moon like that. All right, before we get too far off track,
Down the
I
rabbit
have
hole.
welcome back to Luke's news corner.
Yeah.
I have quite a few
Hold on.
things.
Fucking, what's a news tone at the beginning of a news show? Channel 69 News back at 5. Luke Farnsworth with the
Nice.
hot reports. Back to you, Luke.
So, do you guys want the bad news, the funny news, or the possibly bad news?
Start with the bad. Always end with the good.
You want the bad?
Yeah, always end with the good.
All right, so this requires some backtracking. So I pay for Hulu, like just straight up. So I was like, why do I pay for Hulu? I don't watch shit on there. And then I remembered I bought it because K-On's on there, fucking like the new Animaniacs, the new DuckTales, shit like that. And I was like, all right, I guess that's why. So I was like, what are Hulu exclusive anime? So I was looking at it, I'm like, these are on like Verve. What the fuck? Like these aren't exclusive to just Hulu. The only one I could think of was like, all right, I guess K-On because you can't watch that on Verve.
Yeah.
So I went and I was like, I'm double checking to make sure I don't sound like an asshole being like, this fucking lied straight to me. And I start looking things up on Verve. Shows I knew were on Verve weren't on there anymore. So I was like, that's really strange. So I did a little bit of digging and I noticed that High Dive wasn't on Verve anymore.
What?
So naturally, I was like, well, it's time to go to work. So I took off my pajama pants, put on my work pants, and started doing some digging. Well, I didn't need to change clothes because the digging took 30 seconds. High Dive completely backed out of Verve
Why?
a month ago.
For
A
what?
month
Whoa.
ago. It's been a month since High Dive's been on Verve.
Or has not been?
Has not been. I don't really understand the reason. They're saying that's to focus on their company or some shit. But they've been on Verve for 3 years, and they are now off Verve. My theory is that the buying out of Funimation, Sony buying out Crunchyroll probably made High Dive go off because, you know, as with what Interspecies Reviewers happened, High Dive does not censor a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I doubt Sony liked that. So,
We like interspecies reviewers.
so my guess is High Dive backed out because of that, so that they could not get fucked over. Here's the most disappointing news. You can no longer on Verve watch Clanad, the anime of the week that I chose, Made in Abyss, Onigiri, Place to Place or Achikachi, Yuki Yuna as a hero, and Amagami SS.
Where the fuck can we watch these now? Is
Verve-
High
that-
Dive its own separate website?
That being said, and probably if you guys are fine with it, in about a week or two, I plan on buying a High Dive account that you guys can just use.
Yes.
So that is the only plus side.
That's so
That's-
irritating.
That is.
I was
man.
actually mad because I was like, I have to pay more money to watch shows because they don't just all go on one fucking website.
I know. I wish there was just one cumulative website.
Other shows that I didn't mention, Beyond the Boundary, is actually
That's on
only
Crunchyroll, I
No,
thought.
it is not.
That's
I
right.
already looked it up.
It wasn't because I thought I watched it.
It is
there.
not. It is High Dive.
Rip. I probably did watch it on Verve then.
And something there was another KyoAni that you can't watch anymore now.
Yoka.
No, I don't remember which one it is. You're not gonna saying names is not gonna.
If her flag breaks?
So fucking.
If her flag breaks.
Actually, yes.
Really?
I think
we can't watch it anymore?
I think it might be that might be on Crunchyroll.
It was on Verve. It was on Verve when I watched it.
It might be on Crunchyroll. I don't remember.
It was on
Who
Verve.
cares? Who fucking
It
cares?
does not matter.
Apparently.
Do you legitimately care, Thorpe?
No, I don't.
So the great deal that was pay $2 extra and you get Crunchyroll and Verve is no longer a fucking deal. You're just wasting $2 extra a month.
So should I just get rid of my Verve account?
If you don't use Verve, yes, I like Verve better than Crunchyroll, so I
Verve.
still use Verve.
So I'm a Crunchy.
Crunchyroll
I'm a
kinda
Crunchy.
I don't,
we all have
like
our
their
things.
layout. Their layout
I
is
love
so
it, actually.
fucking.
The
new
new
layout,
beta.
the new
I like the new
beta.
layout.
I hate it.
I love it.
I don't
think
like
it's
the
so
new
nice.
beta.
If they stuck with the old one, I probably would have stuck with Crunchyroll. But the new fucking beta layout sucks.
I
dick.
personally think Funimation is on the up and coming. The app got a big update and it looks much better. The mobile or the website got a big
I think
update
it
and
looks
much
better.
I think it looks better. My favorite part
It
about
doesn't-
Funimation is nothing loads.
It doesn't
I've
run as good.
I've never had an issue on Funimation with loading.
It's
Ever.
it's always
Yes, you
been,
have. You've bitched about it last season.
Well, like in the last couple months,
He's checking now.
I've had a better experience with Funimation than I have with Crunchyroll.
Gotta give him credit for that opening animation.
It's
they
not
got.
bad, right?
It looks good. But yeah, there's
Oh,
that.
You know what?
I think Funimation is set up the best.
The
but it
layout
just- it
looks
just-
pretty good now.
does.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
no,
front.
it looks good.
pretty good.
To me, it just doesn't run the
I
smoothest.
think
it takes a lot longer to
I
load things.
do not think so. I think Crunchyroll is so much slower for me.
I'm
know
just
why.
I'm just a fan of this.
I just use Verve.
I do like that with Verve.
The
That's
Verve
really
layout
nice.
is really
It's
The Verve
big,
layout's
so you can read
nice.
everything.
Yeah. And it gives you Synopsis. Well, I don't even.
Crunchyroll's app. Is
I don't even have
scuttled right now.
Crunchyroll installed anymore because I only use Verve and
It's
Funimation.
Verve layout's it's better.
Crunchyroll's scuttled.
I don't think so. What are you on? Why?
No, the app.
Yeah, why? I don't have a problem.
It
with
wouldn't let me search a single show last time I was on it. Remember I was complaining about that?
No.
This is not where I thought this fucking argument was gonna go. With.
Yes.
What's better, Crunchyroll?
Oh,
or
look, these
Funimation?
look better. No,
Yeah,
the
really,
point is that High Dive's not on Verve, so you're fucking
Like a month,
stupid.
a couple weeks ago, it wouldn't let me even look at my queued up list or search anything, and I was like, "This is scuttled. I don't belong."
Well, that's because you're cringe. Luke, what's more news?
What's more news? All
Good
right,
news, too.
on to the possibly bad news. So, as I'm sure everybody knows, World's End Harem was actually just pushed back to January. The official reason is that they want to review every episode to make sure that they fall in terms for what they want to put out. So there's a chance that World's End Harem is going to be Interspecies Reviewers Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
So we're gonna have to watch
So-
it legally.
There's a chance.
I mean, fuck, I'm fine with that. Just go to
I
anime.
kinda-
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of believed it was going to.
Okay, we're live.
Sorry, drinking coffee.
Goofy.
Like a boss. Drinking coffee like a boss.
Quite
Boss
literally.
coffee.
Boss,
Sponsored by
Boss
Boss
Coffee.
Coffee.
Not sponsored yet, but
The memer.
Eat spicy,
Eat spicy goodness like a boss.
I like the edit where it's like the Among Us player. I love children.
like the Among Us player. I love children.
Anyway, we were talking about World's End Harem, right? Anyway, so I was about to say the plot for this show is not SFW in the slightest.
Oh, what do you mean? It's totally everywhere. Show it to your kids. Show it to your grandma. Play it at work. Watch it in school. It's safe.
For YouTube-related purposes, I will use the term. There's a lot of non-consensual portions of the story.
Oh, so it's
Really?
Like a
it's like a
lot.
redo of Healer.
Yes, that's
really?
that is actually what people are equivocating.
See, I thought it
to.
was gonna be like the funny haha interspecies reviewers type
Same.
beat.
No, apparently there's a lot of non-consensual portions of this show.
That
Wow.
actually makes me want to watch it a little less.
It's
low-key,
probably
yeah.
reverse non-consensual.
Still, I don't know.
It's up to you and how you want to take
I
it.
didn't expect that.
That's what I've heard. Like I
Okay.
said, I've not read it. Jay and I found it in Books A Million.
When
I
I
can't believe
did?
they had it in Books A
Yeah.
Million.
When I went to buy
Yeah.
2 more copies of Berserk, Luke
I was like, holy shit. I flipped it open. The first page I flipped to had titties just all over it. I was like, all right, this is going back on the show.
I was like, put it back. Well, it's like I'm reading Berserk. I let the twins borrow the first issue, and they open up the first issue with the scene that's
what is it? I
non.
forget. Oh yeah,
Non-consensual.
Non-consensual.
abortion, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen with this show. I'm still looking forward to it because it's gonna be funny. I think it's gonna be really funny.
I'm still gonna watch it.
I don't know. I would think like that the studio or the publishing, whoever, Funimation, gets it. You'd think they would review it a little more beforehand instead of like.
That's why
the
they
day
delayed
before.
it last minute.
Well, yeah, but like the day before it airs, we're like, hey, this is actually kind of fucked up.
I mean, you think they would have done that with
Exactly, like
species
much
reviewers too?
Not even like that. Like I feel like they have their hands on this way before this is supposed to air. Like,
All
they
right,
can
the
announce the date.
problem with interspecies reviewers, and I give them a pass for that one, is that the story itself, like the manga, they don't go in depth with any of the fucking scenes.
They just talk about.
They just talk about it. They don't go in depth, like show pictures of it and everything. The anime does not do
No,
that.
what I'm saying is like, does nobody review these beforehand before they're shown?
Well, that's the point of the show, Anthony. It's interspecies reviewers.
No. Fuck off.
Dude, you just got fucked
Like,
on.
at Funimation, did no one look at this a couple days or weeks before?
Well, and maybe here's the thing. Maybe they literally couldn't. Like, this is gonna sound like a meme, but it's not. And I mean that.
I know what you're. I know what
We've
you're going to
seen
say.
Shirobako.
Yes.
We know how. If the anime industry works like Shirobako, then they don't have time.
But this
to
is
review
all right.
it.
We're talking episode
Reliable.
1. Episode 1 should have been done probably a minute ago, right?
A brick.
It seems like delays happen
That's
later
fair.
on when they're working on those, and they're like, "Oh shit, it's kind of crunch time." Like episode 7, things got delayed. But episode 1 is the first episode. I
My
would
favorite
think
part
that
is
somebody
that-
got this and they could have looked at it and been like, "Well, this isn't very PG."
That's if episode 1 goes in depth as everything else. Because if episode 1, say, doesn't go quite into the story as every other episode did, then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is fine. Send it through."
I would like to make an anime that is so unbelievably safe for work that they review the first couple episodes and it's fine. Make the last episode just hardcore
Excel
hentai.
Saga.
Is that a thing?
I don't think it's hardcore hentai, but do you guys know about
I'm
Excel
talking
Saga?
like vor ass birth.
No.
Is it oh.
It's old. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
1999
I've seen,
or something.
It was on one of those English compilations.
So, Excel Saga, the first episodes 1 through 25, because I think it's 26. It's like skit comedy. So, like, it's like, we're making fun of this series now. We're making fun of this series. Haha, look, it's all parody skit comedy.
We love
The
South Park.
director and the studio that made it purposefully made the last episode so fucked up in both violence, gore, and sexual content that it got taken off of every single website that's not censored it to hell and back.
Really?
I would
Excel
know.
Saga?
Because I tried watching the last episode on Funimation, it is censored to hell.
So is that a 9 anime show?
That's really
Probably.
Yes.
Only the last episode, though. Every other episode is just like funny, haha, skit
That's
comedy.
really
Look at this.
good.
Heh,
I
heh.
like that.
I'm glad somebody's done that. That makes me
And then
happy.
Excel Saga is like, we're doing this on purpose
But,
to
like,
see what happens.
Our studio's closing. Let's just go out with a bang.
I don't even think it was closing. I think they just did it because they could. They thought it'd be funny, and
That's
it
right.
is.
I'm surprised. Well, Panty and Stocking wasn't like super visually lewd, but it was pretty suggestive in a lot of
It
things.
was extremely.
That's
It was very
different.
vulgar. I know, but I'm just saying, like, I can't
That's
believe
not.
just.
That's not even close. It's fucking. The last episode of Excel Saga was banned in Japan.
I gotta pull this
Oh,
up.
Damn, they went out.
It's banned everywhere. You cannot watch
Whoa.
it anywhere. The last episode is banned everywhere in the world.
Let's see. Where is that text? Luke sent?
How's he say it, Luke? The JoJo's reference in the water door.
Oh, Yer days.
Wait.
Here it
Oh,
is, yeah.
God damn it. I was going back to find that epic Luke quote where he was like, not me thinking about the vor ass birth. And then I found this. He said, then the end will show that the government was the friends we made along the way, and Shin and Malise are going to make out in raw dog in the middle of the streets during the revolution.
That was funny. Oh, that was good.
Yesterday.
That was good.
I don't remember which fucking chat I even put the fucking ass birth quote in. That was a scene. Thorpe and I watched it. There was a vor ass birth scene.
Luke's got a lot of good one-liners.
Yeah, he's got some.
I don't know what
zingers.
this is, but the first thing that was ever saved in the stupid fucking podcast group chat is a thing from me. Sore parts, bud.
It should be your spare parts, bud.
I just said sore
Says
parts.
Sore. What's the second?
It is a Reddit OBS how to stream Call of Duty.
I
Follow.
found a quote for me that just says, cake, not on purpose, they do it to me, and then a capital pie.
Then Alex's favorite meme.
5 more minutes, babe. You're so warm. I can't. I gotta go smoke next to gas pumps.
2 quotes from Thorpe in a row. War never changes. Missed opportunity. And then one from Tippy. Nah, dude, I'm limp as a shrimp.
Whoa.
Welcome to the Hello We Have Dumbass Quotes podcast.
Yeah, we're not very funny.
Luke, have we even hit your anime of the week yet?
Oh, he didn't do his
Yeah.
funny news yet.
They make my pee-pee go big. You can thank me for that quote. All right, the funny news. So, Jeff Bezos decided he wanted more money, so Amazon put out a game called New World. Have you guys heard of it?
I've heard the term New World.
I think I heard someone say something about it. Something.
That's
It's
what I
a
thought.
it's
don't know
a
very much.
super grind fest, haha funny MMORPG on the level of like Warcraft grinding. Like if you want to sit there for 80 hours to get one item, this
I'm
is
sorry.
the game for you.
I'm sorry, I was texting about something. What game?
New World
by
the-
Amazon.
By Amazon. It's a new game. It just dropped like last week or something like that. Anyway,
I don't think I've heard of it.
Anyway,
I'm
the
gonna
game
look.
itself is not important. Don't buy it.
Is it bad?
And I'm saying that not. I don't know. I don't know how the quality of the game. Don't buy it. There are several, probably at least thousands of people.
Oh, this game.
The game is literally bricking 3090s.
Nuh-uh.
That's what I fucking.
People have to
heard.
buy whole new 3090s after starting up the game because there's a chance it bricks your fucking 3090.
What if I tried to boot it up on my Aurora?
You'd probably brick it.
Dude, it's breaking up a 3090.
What if I tried to start it? I'm building a new PC anyway.
You better
I
make sure
have
you have the
nothing to
funds
lose.
beforehand.
There are a lot of people who are having to buy new graphics cards because it bricks them.
That's fucked.
It's funny. It's really funny.
It's-
That's my funny news.
That is pretty funny.
Does anyone know like possibly why? Is it just not optimized as a
Who
game?
knows? It's fucking Amazon. Who knows why the fuck
It's
it
'cause
does it?
It's going to be a conspiracy theory because Amazon wants you to go to Amazon and buy a new graphics card from them. Boom, done. Case closed.
I'm gonna buy a
Dude, that's
3090 and
totally
boot the game up.
believable. That is totally believable.
Case closed. Pay me.
Yeah, pay
Because
me money, Amazon.
say you didn't want more money. Oh, let's create a game where people have to buy it and let's brick
They
their
have to buy it. They
3090s
have to
while
spend
I'm at
money
it.
in the game.
Jeff
and then it bricks
Bezos
your
be like,
fucking
money.
Money.
Yeah,
Money.
there's like a very high chance that it bricks your computer if you boot it up.
That's so
Whoa.
fucked.
Well, good thing I had absolutely no intentions of playing said game.
Yeah, or I'd never heard of it.
You know, I'm kind of glad you told me that because I've been getting that in my Steam suggestions a lot.
Ooh.
Like,
Well, now you know.
yeah, thank you.
more you
Yeah,
know.
also, it's one of those things like, even if it wasn't bricking 3090s, the fact that you just told me that it's so, like, it's grindy like Destiny 2 and Warcraft, it makes me not want to play it.
Yeah, I've been told that
Yeah.
it's grindy as hell because I know someone that's played it and it didn't brick their computer somehow,
Oh,
but
good for them.
they said that if you're willing to put like the hundreds of hours to get one item, it's the game for you.
Low no.
Who likes those games?
War Thunder is.
Some people really like
Warcraft
grindy games.
War Thunder.
Yes.
War Thunder is very
Well,
fun.
yeah,
It's
I
grindy
guess.
as
It's
stupid
fuck.
I
grindy.
uninstalled War Thunder.
It's a different kind of grind, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
It's a
I
very
at least
different kind of
that
grind.
kind of grinding is you're just playing the game.
But
This
you
kind of grinding is you have to
guaranteed
do
get stuff.
dumb shit to do it.
fight this boss that takes an hour and a half for a 20% chance of getting the item you want.
Fish for 300 red carp and send them to the
like
blacksmith.
dead ass, like that kind of shit. Like not enjoyable grinding.
Yeah.
I think the only game I ever really played where I did do grinding like that was Destiny, like the first, like the original
RuneScape.
Destiny.
What? Don't even say RuneScape is not
You know,
grinding.
I kind of hate how people hype up RuneScape to be the greatest thing ever, and it's just a grindy shit fest that looks like shit.
That's why everybody hypes it up. It's fucking funny.
Like, everyone's like, oh, I loved RuneScape. I'm like, that doesn't sound enjoyable going and collecting fish for 4 hours.
Okay, so
Get like 10 pixels.
I'm the shrimp farmer. What I did, I bought old school RuneScape or downloaded. It's free, and then I just became a shrimp farmer. I shrimp fished. I shrimp fished for like a couple hours and was like, all right, well now I need to take these to market. So I had to go to the place where you can sell stuff, which I forget the name of, like the.
Don't look at me. I never
Say,
played
like, the
RuneScape.
merchant.
Yeah, it's like this area like on the other side of the map from where I was. So I had to walk there, and there's a wall, and I'm like, all right. And there's like a gate that I walk up to, and it's like, you have to buy a RuneScape membership to go through this gate into this town. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I have to go around it. So like 30 minutes of walking of me like going from like where I was fishing to the merchant area. Get there, go to set it up. It says, sorry, you have to be level 40 to sell things. And I looked at my level after shrimp fishing for like 5 hours, and I was level 2. And I'm like, oh, guess I'm not doing that ever. So
RuneScape's a fun game.
I did it because I wanted to become a shrimp merchant with Andy. We wanted to be shrimp merchants because that would be funny.
I mean, it's a good idea, but
It doesn't
really
work.
It doesn't sound logical.
Well, let's do some anime of the
Smack
week.
an anime of the week right in the face. So, as I told the boys, I spent an hour and a half trying to figure out what anime to do because I didn't have any bangers and nothing that really left an impression on me. So I was like, you know what? This one has a funny sale. Ungo. Adopt one 14-year-old boy, get one 23-year-old mommy.
All right.
There you go.
Oh.
You can't set it down unless it's on your fucking shit. Move something or put it down.
Kotomi shit.
Your shit.
Asshole.
I might be.
Asshole. So
Get on with. Luke, how do I get a 23-year-old mommy?
So the show takes place in a war-torn Tokyo after I don't even know what the fuck happened. It's just a post-decrepit, state.
Jaundice wipes
It's the
them
story
all out.
of Inga, who's an Akuma, and Shinjiro, who's a detective with the nickname The Defeated Detective. Inga is the 14-year-old that turns into a 23-year-old mommy.
Hold on.
Inga
was
demon.
a boy.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that's it. Okay.
Well, he changes back and forth.
Okay.
Anyway, so Shinjiro is given the nickname the Defeated Detective because every case he solves, mostly murder cases, they end up saying that whoever he has caught is not the right person. And that's because there's an overarching company called JJ Systems, and they try to keep peace by framing the people that people think did the murders. So it'd be like if someone was found dead in a politician's house, everyone would think the politician killed him, but it was actually someone framing the politician. They would still arrest the politician publicly because that's what people would want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got like this really weird just world that's built around a lot of really weird shit just happens in the show. On to what Inga is. So as I said, Inga's an Akuma, eats souls. A deal made between Shinjiro and Inga makes it so Inga can't kill people to eat their souls. Instead, they, whatever, asks them one question and consumes their soul when they answer the question truthfully.
It's like that one guy from My Hero.
Yeah.
What guy?
Keeping it relevant.
Yeah.
There is the one guy who asks questions, and if you answer, he can control your mind.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
But
he's the evil guy.
Inga you're only forced to answer the question truthfully once. Inga can never ask you another question that you're forced to answer truthfully again. So the show kind of takes place with like, what question do you ask the person to prove that they did the murder, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get the wrong person, you shouldn't, like, it's a lot of the times it's not, did you kill this person? And they're like, yes or no. Because,
Yeah, why don't you just do that? That would answer the fucking question.
but if you get the wrong person, they say no. How do you know who did it then?
Well, they have to answer truthfully.
What if they're covering?
But if they have to answer truthfully,
You just say,
yeah,
if
then
you
you
said,
can't-
if
you
I
can't.
looked you dead in the face, said, did you commit the murder?
I'd say no.
no,
Then who did?
ask somebody
Ask
else.
someone else. Can he ask more people?
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Who do you ask? Who do you ask? If they're not in the fucking room, who do you
The
ask?
next culprit.
You don't know the next culprit.
You don't know.
Sounds
I'm
like
saying
poor
you can,
detective
you
work.
could have you could have the guy who's a shitty detective.
that's
go
just,
find the
that's
next one.
assuming you have tons of leads and multiple.
Sounds like
suspects.
poor
I'm just
detective
saying
work.
what if you do?
We don't have magical questions in this world. We have detectives.
All right, Luke.
That's it. I'm done.
I'm just saying, I don't.
Here's
I
the
think
show. I don't know
you
what the
could've done
fuck.
it.
How many?
No, I'm with you.
What's a good scale for this one?
14-year-olds turning into 23-year-old mommies out of 10.
8.
8.
Eight
Ooh.
14-year-olds
good.
turning
I
into
give an
23-year-old
eight. It
mommies
was-
out of
Is
10.
it a 12-episode banger?
I think.
All right,
it's 12.
do we have a scale now? Is there like
It's 12 with a movie.
12 episode bangers, 24 episode ass clappers, 48 episode cum blasters?
I give it an 8 because I think that's like a fair rating. It's not anything above and beyond what you'd expect, but it's better than most shows you'd watch.
It sounds interesting.
It's
I
better
like
than a
detective
majority.
stuff.
It's kind of got like the same vibe as ID Invaded did.
Oh yeah, I fuck with that.
Why don't you
I still have to watch that.
Brooklyn
You won't.
Yeah, you do. You
Nine-Nine?
won't.
But
Probably will.
keeping the theme with detectives and mysteries, we got a Japanese murder mystery on. Well, not on our hands. It
Oh
was,
shit!
it
Yeah.
was a long time ago, but
On our hands.
it happened. There we
Somebody
go.
in this room
It could
killed
be.
someone.
It's unsolved.
Maybe it's someone. It
It's
would literally
unsolved,
be
yeah.
impossible for someone in this room. So, all right. So
What
this
does
is
that mean?
called the Paraquat Murders, and if you don't know what Paraquat is, it is a pesticide or herbicide used commonly in suicides,
smoke
but
herb.
also is like a pesticide. Whatever
Yeah,
type
me and
All
my
right, so
smoke
let's get
herb.
on with this. The Paraquat murders were a series of indiscriminate poisonings carried out in Japan in 1985. Police were unable to gather any evidence about the murders other than they were caused by a poisoned beverage that was left inside or around vending machines. All the beverages were poisoned with the herbicide Paraquat except for one which was poisoned with diquat. Then placed on or near the vending machine where the victim would consume the drink, then become poisoned.
Who the fuck's walking up and seeing an open thing and be like,
I'll get into that.
Drinking it.
They actually
weren't
get
opened.
into it.
They were not opened.
Oh.
Well, I'll get into that. Hold on. There's some nitpicky details here.
All right, cool.
The first poisoning and death occurred on April 30th, 1985 in Fukuyama, Hiroshima. The drink was found on top of the vending machine. After this, 11 more murders occurred between September 11th and November 17th. Most of these drinks were retrieved from outside the vending machine. Vending machine operators posted warnings on machines telling people not to consume drinks found in or around the machines, which, after the poisoning, stopped. The culprit was never found. The main drink that was poisoned was Oranomen C, and the police contacted the company about changing the bottle, like making it require an opener or a can, but the company decided not to do anything, stating that it would cost too much money to change all the production of what they currently had. So, to your point about taking just a random beverage, these were twist top beverages. Like you buy a Sprite, it's a twist top. It was like that. And I don't know if it had the breakable seal cap thing.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what they had in 1985, but in the video I watched, they said that it was common practice in Japan where if you had something from a vending machine, say you got a double and you only wanted one for whatever reason, you would leave it like on the vending machine and someone else would just take it. Like that was kind of a common thing. So this person was using those, poisoning them, and killing these people. But I found some interesting things. So obviously it would be very, very difficult to track something like this, especially in 1985. Like no video cameras around. They're random fucking beverages. And where these occurred were all over the goddamn country.
It seems to me a lot of them occurred were like south of Tokyo is where a lot of them were.
It was, I would say,
Were there
but
any up north in Tohoku?
none in, not that I saw in Tohoku, but the furthest north I saw was Echizen. And here's the weird thing that I saw. So the first one, it was in Hiroshima.
Mm-hmm.
Then it seemed like they went north up to Osaka, and then Matsusaka. Then here's the weird part. This is a 1-day span. So they did it in Echizen and then went down to Kyushu in Miyokanojo. That is a 12-hour car ride if you're taking a car, and an 8-hour Shinkansen ride.
That's an 8-hour Shinkansen ride?
Yes, it's pretty like southeast Kyushu. So you have to go like up, west, and
Now,
Was
is that
Shinkansen even around in 85?
Yeah, the first Shinkansen came out in the 60s for the Tokyo.
God,
for the
I
Tokyo
don't
I
know.
looked this up before.
for the Tokyo Olympics. But
2020.
were they that
baby.
much slower? Because I think a Shinkansen, say, from
I looked this up.
The
I know. I
Ohio
looked this up on
Shinkansen.
Google Maps. I did.
8 hours. Are you sure?
Yeah,
Let's get one.
I did Echizen to Miyokanojo on Google Maps and then made it transit. The Shinkansen was 8 hours because you have to get on the Shinkansen. It's not a direct line up to Echizen. You have to take other trains to get
You
there.
have to, yeah,
Which
you have to take like 2.
I don't even know if those were there in 85. Like, we don't know if
That's
some of these
true.
lines were there, so it could have taken even longer.
What happens when we build the Ohio Shinkansen?
It doesn't go
America collapsed.
Yeah.
It goes from Cleveland
They actually scrapped that
Athens.
idea.
with the
Yeah.
American Shinkansen.
No,
Ohio
they had
Shinkansen?
an Ohio train system that was supposed to go from Cleveland to Columbus to Cincinnati, and they scrapped it.
Oh. Why?
I don't know, probably because they're fucking Ohio and they wouldn't have done it right anyway. The tunnel would have collapsed.
It's just like a Chicago L train. It's like one of those slow ones, like just going over
It was
the
just a
rails.
trolley.
Troll.
It was a
All right.
minivan on
So
wheels.
we'll dip into some of the theories here.
Please.
There weren't like a ton that I found or anything I could kind of come up with of why someone would do this. So the leading theory, I guess, would be someone trying to send a message to the beverage company. Like maybe they wronged them somehow. They're like, I'm going to get back at these guys because the main drink that was poisoned was the Oranaman Sea. That was really like one of the only drinks. I think there was one other one,
There were only 2 separate drinks.
but it was mainly the Oranaman Sea. I also had the idea that maybe there were multiple people involved since this was taking place in multiple different cities in a time span that would be, I don't know, I think it would be fairly difficult to go from somewhere like Echizen all the way down to Kyushu, set up these bottles. I mean, it isn't like a ton of work, but that's a long way.
Or you're just like, you got like copycat killers.
That was also
That's
something
true,
they said
yeah.
there might
Where
be
you
copycat
just leave
killers.
it there and there's a chance no one picked it up until the day before someone picked up the other one.
That's another.
That's possible, too.
Yeah, I was also
Yeah.
wondering how long these were sitting there. I can't imagine it was long. I really can't, because if there's a free drink sitting somewhere, I bet someone's going to take it. But then I also thought about, well, what was the population in Echizen in 85? How many people were going around vending machines? I was really racking my brain on like,
oh shit! It's
on this
flaming
shit.
hot Mountain Dew.
that's disgusting. And
What?
then another one was possible suicides,
We'll
since
get into it.
Paraquat was a popular thing to use in suicides. But a lot of people don't really buy into that.
If it was happening a lot and it was like a big spike in it, I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, there were like 12 deaths from these
Mhm.
drinks, and they did test the drinks themselves too. So
Yeah,
if you would go out of the way to spike your own drink and then drink it, that just doesn't make too much sense
What
to
if
me.
Paraquat tastes bad?
Yeah.
I mean, it might. I
Well,
don't
You
know.
mix
if
it
you're
in,
killing
so-
yourself, do
I
you
don't
really
know if
care?
it,
Yeah.
if you're
Why?
drinking it. If if it was like if people were drinking it and drinking enough to like die, I would assume it's probably like covered up pretty well by that drink.
Yeah, it's very
actually,
potent.
it takes 2 teaspoons of Paraquat to kill someone.
That's a good
Paraquat's
amount.
potent.
That's
That's
still a
not
good
that
amount.
much. If you put it in like a
you-
16-ounce bottle,
But like if
that's
you
not
like
a lot.
yeah, but like you know like maybe you can't taste it too well. Maybe it's like got like a
That's
pretty low
yeah, I
flavor.
agree. It
That's
probably-
what I was saying.
Mhm.
You don't want it to taste
yeah,
bad
because
in your
you
mouth.
like that's like two. That's like
Well, the thing
that's
about,
more than like spit it out. Because if it tastes bad initially, you're gonna go ooh
the
gross.
thing about the Paraquat is it's not an instant kill. Like some of these people lived for a couple weeks after they were poisoned.
Yeah.
So why you would want to put yourself through weeks of, I'm assuming pain is beyond me. I don't.
It's that excruciating pain.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. So I kind of rule out the suicide possibilities.
I didn't believe that one even when it was first brought up. I was like, that just doesn't make sense to me. All these people are drinking the same exact drinks.
Yeah, I didn't think about
That was the weird part. I'm like, why would they all just like coincidentally have the same drink?
And what was
They
the
were trying
time
to kill
frame that
themselves.
this was happening?
So the first one happened in April, and
Okay.
then it slowed down, and there was nothing for a few months. And then around
September.
Was the month? Yeah, like September through November, there were like 11.
There
Oh, you
were
see, that's
11. There were 11 deaths, but 35 other victims of it that
Yeah.
were like fucked
Yeah, like
up.
sick,
but
but
they didn't die.
Yeah, that's not
Exactly.
suicide.
That's
That's a
what
bunch
I
of people.
thought.
Like that's a huge spike. It's not like everybody's like, oh shit, it's National Kill Yourself with Paraquat Day. Like,
Now, you know what's interesting with
I
this
bent the can.
is
That's a tough game.
I think it's someone that had a vendetta against like the company or something like that, because I believe it was a couple years earlier, a year earlier, there was a big thing going on with the Glico company.
I watched that video as well.
Yeah, where someone was making these claims that the Glico candies or something were poisoned, so people were not buying Glico, and they were doing it because they didn't like the president or something of the Glico company, so they wanted him to like fall or crumble or whatever.
It was like the Tylenol killer in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was very similar. So I that's what I think. I think it was vendetta against the company.
I'm gonna be the Astroglide assassin. It's all fun and games till Jay walks into the crib poisoning your lube. Anyway,
I kind of think I get with the vendetta type beat. I can get behind that. But also, I think there's a possibility that someone just was like, I'm going to fuck around and poison a bunch of drinks.
the
That they're just
possible.
like pissed off because if you know about the Akihabara attack,
Yeah,
the dude just
took a van.
was lonely, drove a van, and just started stabbing people. Like,
Well, a lot led up to that.
I know there were
led up
like
to that.
circumstances that led up to that, but it wasn't like
V for
one
vendetta.
person wronged him or anything. He
Yeah.
was just
Vendetta type
upset,
beat.
lonely, and
He
had
took
a
it out
pretty
on
shit
random
life.
people.
upset,
So,
lonely,
I
and
mean-
excessively horny.
That could be circumstances here, and maybe they chose the Ornament C because of the cap. Like I don't know what.
Oh, yeah,
other,
maybe it's the easiest drink to
Yeah.
poison.
Maybe it's like it has the easiest cap that doesn't look
Sus.
Yeah, that doesn't look sus after you already open
So
it.
they couldn't do that to Boss Coffee.
No, that's why they wanted the company to switch to cans, but the company said no, that costs too much money.
You can
And
kind of bend the can. I did it.
No, if you just like take your hand like this and just squeeze.
I got a
Yeah.
little bit. You have to put a lot of pressure in one spot.
Yeah.
I got to give it to Boss Coffee for making hell. Just Japanese cans in general.
Yeah, I
It's
had
fucking
UCC
amazing.
coffee last night.
These are
and it was,
fucking
um,
bulletproof.
They are, dude.
I have. There was one problem I had with that video you sent, Thorpe, and it's the dude that guessed on the video.
Oh,
it
what was his
was,
name?
it was like Crowley or
Nick
something.
Crowley
Nick
or something.
Crowley.
Everything he said sounded like this
I
as he
know.
talked.
Is it the foot lettuce guy?
No.
No,
it's
it's not the same guy. He just talked like this. This was his like.
He kind of. That was his shtick.
That was like his suspenseful voice that
It
he
was
put
so
on.
Wait, does he have like weirdly thick eyebrows and a mustache?
They didn't show their
There's no
faces,
Picture.
That's.
of that.
I think that's Thoughty too.
That is thoughty.
but he was like, they were poisoned. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
Why someone would go out of their way.
A string
to
of
poison
11
the
murders
Ornament
from
C.
September to November.
Cadabra guy had a really cool voice.
I like.
Cadab-
Yeah.
and then
Cadaver
that
was
dude
cool.
comes on, he's like, the murders.
Thanks for having me on your video, Cadaver.
I just found his channel like a month ago and I started watching it.
I think. Whoa. Whoa.
But I mean, also, they think they found the fuck is his name?
Culprit. Oh, the Zodiac Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the third time they think they've caught the Zodiac, but this time it actually looks like it might be him.
The FBI is saying that it's not.
Oh,
Probably
Fuck
because the FBI is the actual Zodiac killer.
so
but-
the
Yeah.
FBI was the Zodiac killer made along the way.
Yeah, but there's like some stuff about it like that like makes it seem kind of like likely because for one thing, a couple of his letters that they didn't solve, if you take his full name, like the full name of the guy they believe is the Zodiac Killer, his name is the cipher to solve a couple of these unsolved letters.
well, there's that, and there's a dude that was friends with him that I probably knew he was the Zodiac killer but didn't care.
Yeah.
And like when he died, the dude put out a message just like, Zodiac, I don't really care. You were a good friend. And shit like that.
You see, shit like that, the FBI is like, no, they didn't do it. The FBI is just mad because they didn't find him first.
They didn't find him before he died.
Because like 6 dweebs in their garage were like, hey, we found him. I love children. But they like found it. like,
Oh shit, the My Hero fans actually found the Zodiac killer. Did you guys like my response tweet?
I was gonna respond.
Wait, what
I didn't
was it?
see it. What?
It was on the Twitter.
We put up the Twitter announcement for the latest episode. Hold on, I gotta fucking find what I said
On Twitter yesterday.
on Twitter. And at the end of last episode, I made fun of my Hero fans again. And I told them that they can't read and shit like that, and that no matter what I say, they'll never see it because they don't have the attention span to watch this far into an episode.
That was spicy, dude. When I was editing that, I was rolling.
And they put out that, and I responded with, Psh, "What a cringe podcast! Can't believe some idiot would make fun of MHA like that. I just turned 13, and for his information, and I think it's the best show ever made."
Luke, I have a question.
Yeah,
I know that you man the Hello Harem Twitter, and you're like our Twitter guy.
I actually have not posted anything on our Twitter in a long time.
I know, but like for a while, you've been like our Twitter guy.
Yeah,
Why is this our Twitter?
that wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I wondered why that was it.
That wasn't me.
That's the baby as a titan.
Like, why did you do that?
We have a Twitter. If you guys didn't know, it's
that
something.
Isn't that awesome?
Nope. We had so many views on this post about Rosemi being the girl from Tack Top, and nobody
I
liked
know.
it. We didn't get a single
I was
like.
a little pissed.
I got a notification that like 40 people saw that tweet, and nobody gave it a
What
like
was
or
it?
anything.
The Rosemi love log and
That
the girl
one.
from Tack Top, they look the fucking same. They're the same person.
Let me see him one more time.
Motherfucker.
What are you talking about?
What the fuck do you mean? What am I talking about?
They don't look the same.
My ass. They don't look the same.
On the official
you-
Hungry Man Twitter.
Are you smooth?
Get drained.
They don't look. Hold on. I gotta hold on. They don't look the same. What are you
in
on?
what way do they not?
Their hairstyle, their hair color, and their facial and their eye colors are different.
Alex, they have roses on their heads.
Is that the only thing you're gonna bring?
Yeah,
Is that they share the red color?
He countered your argument.
They have mildly short hair.
You're
You
done,
guys are
dude.
smooth.
You're
They have
done, dude. He
mildly
countered your
short hair
argument.
and
All right,
roses
Jay.
on
What were
their
you saying?
heads.
I'm sorry.
I'm on the Hungry Man Twitter.
Oh yeah, we tagged him.
Yeah,
We
I
called
follow him.
Yeah, we called him out. We're gonna do it again.
Actually, Tip, did you have one more thing you wanted to bring up? Because I mentioned this and you're like, oh yeah, I have something too.
I think it was the Glico. It
Oh.
might have been the Glico. Once I had something saved.
There's just some things on the Hungry Man Twitter that bother me a little.
The fact that they're not benching us at all.
Here's their Twitter bio. College guys have a lot on their plate, and so does Hungry Man. Try one of our frozen meals today. Check your local freezer aisle. That's fine. Whatever. I feel like their tweets might be self-aware. I don't know. It's about time you got out of those office hours. Snag a Hungry Man on your way to shine at the interview without those awful stomach grumbles.
Hungry Man makes my
Craving a
stomach
huge burger, but just don't have time to make one yourself? Hungry Man has already got one made. Tell your teammates about that.
They have burgers?
I guess.
Fuck no, they don't.
Running late after your pickup soccer game went into overtime? Grab a Hungry Man meal and you'll be stuffed until after your group meeting.
Well, how come why don't they just sponsor us already? Like their tweets are stupid.
I'm not gonna lie, my ads might be better.
They need Hungry Man. This is serious. Like, give us.
Here's a
help
tweet
us
from
out.
KFC Spain.
I love
Oh,
KFC Spain.
Spain is a
Oh my
shit
god,
show.
Dude,
It's so
a
funny.
they are
shit
they are
show.
cursed.
It's funny.
Arby's America is a shit show.
They are also a shit show.
So
They're-
is Nihilist Arby's.
Nihilist Arby's was awesome.
Yeah, but Arby's America tweeted or posted this on Instagram.
God.
They made an Among Us joke.
They really don't care.
Dude, remember like for like 2 months there was a string of Instagram ads of Arby's with anime people.
I don't know what that was. Whoever's running the Arby's Instagram, like they're a fucking weeb because they post anime shit a lot.
all,
like,
the
all
time.
the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Like, okay, here's one. They did a Ratchet and Clank one with curly
That-
fries and crinkle
That
fries.
looks like that is
that
from
was-
a Rule 34 porn.
It does. Yeah.
And then they fucked on the curly fries.
And then they scissored on the curly fries.
Then they scissored.
Now scissor.
Do it.
Now.
Here-
So
It's Amy Sonic.
why?
It's
don't know.
Yugi. Dude, it's Yugi
Oh,
next to a
shit.
chicken
That
salad.
just
sandwich.
reminded me. Andy and I were talking. Do you guys remember how 4Kids had their own dubs of anime? And it wasn't like the official English dubs. It was the 4Kids dubs for shows.
What?
No.
You don't remember that? So I was looking it up. The worst 4Kids dub officially by everybody that's ever existed is the One Piece 4Kids dub.
Really?
Yes. It is like people hate it.
Why?
It's bad. Well, because it was 4Kids and it was for children, they actually cut out all like death scenes and killing scenes and shit.
So people would just be gone?
So first off, there's that. Second off, all the voice lines were fucking stupid. They even changed like all the OPs for it and everything. So I was thinking about it. I was like, do you guys remember in the Yu-Gi-Oh! 4Kids dub when Seto Kaiba goes, "You're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck"?
I love that one.
I adore that line
I've seen
with
that
all of my
meme.
heart.
It's been a meme.
And I was thinking about it. Seto Kaiba's actually a really, really good villain in the show.
What's the actual line he was supposed
I have
to
no
say?
clue. I have
Everybody
absolutely
just
not
knows you're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck.
What I do know,
That's
what I do know is that in like the actual show itself,
Whoa.
apparently Seto Kaiba is like one of the coolest villains you'll ever see in a show. And then 4Kids makes him the biggest goober in the world.
You're a third-rate duelist with a
fourth-rate deck.
I'm going to start saying that to people.
That is such an insult.
Somebody cuts me off on the highway. I pull it. I go, "You're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck. Suck a dick with your butt, bud," and then just drive away.
Suck a dick with your butt, bud.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
man.
Shorzy.
anyone else got anything?
So I saw an Ask Reddit the other day, actually. Like, this was something I did want to bring up. I thought this was a really weird question for an Ask Reddit. It was, if you knew you were going to die in the next 30 minutes, what would you do?
Well, I would actually eat a Hungry Man, if you were wondering. I would walk over to my local freezer and I would grab myself a Hungry Man, walk my way back to my room, and enjoy the last 30 minutes of my life in horrible stomach pain. Hungry Man, if you could send me $30,000 and enough Hungry Man to pack my freezer for the next 68 years so I can feed my family and friends like a true American, I'd really appreciate that. You can find us at Twitter at Hello Harem or Hello Harem on Twitter, Instagram at Hello Harem. Twitch at Hello Harem. You can lick butt. You can find us on email by emailing us at helloharempodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for your consideration, and I'll be here with you until the end of time, till death do us part. Hungry Man. Thank you.
That was clean. It was really clean.
That was nice. That was good.
There was your viable setup for the week.
You know what's funny? I was actually sitting here thinking about, I'm like, shit, I realized I didn't do the Hungry Man ad. What do I do? And then you're like, what would you do with your last 30 minutes?
All right, it's go time.
I would hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Also, ring that bell if you want notifications. All right, anyway, I can't find it now for whatever fucking reason. Probably because 9 million people put Ask Reddits out every fucking second of the day for whatever reason. And they're never, like, half of them aren't even good.
I saw that question, but I did not click on it because it's been asked a few times.
I read some of them, and I was like, these are just funny. People were just making jokes the whole time. I think
give it like a static charge or something.
What? Dude, you're going to make him superhero Static Shock.
I'm going to make him the Vulture.
All right, what do you tell Luke?
What?
Ask Reddit.
I'm trying to find like any of them, but I can't find the fucking post.
Come on, Looney Tunes.
I was just wondering, what would you guys do if you knew you were going to die in the next 30 minutes?
I thought about that.
I think I would just crack open a Miller High Life and sit on my porch. No joke.
There isn't like
what
a
am I going to
lot.
do in 30 minutes? I'm going to go to France and see the Eiffel Tower.
If I were here, I'd be like, I'm just going to go on the tarmac and go fuck
Oh,
around.
yeah. Let's run out onto the tarmac and see how long it takes for them to catch us.
Yeah, if I can survive 30 minutes, I win.
Before homies go Squid Game and shoot your ass.
That's how you die in 30 minutes.
I think
Yeah.
Jay, would you crack open a Miller with me?
if I was with you and we were both going to die in 30 minutes, I'd see how many Millers I could drink in 30 minutes. If not, I'm going to do shit that I couldn't do before because I would be afraid I'd die. So, like, I'd chug, like, a whole bottle of liquor as fast as I could and then try and drive on the highway. Or something like that.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Like, something like that.
That's fun.
I don't
You're
know.
going to die in 30 minutes. Why not take someone with you?
Dude, I'd go like fucking Bebo Sky King and just steal a plane.
That's what I'm saying. I would just go on the tarmac and be like, well, I'm going to fuck around and I'm going to find out.
Like, Alex is,
I'll
like,
learn.
in the air in the plane because somehow he managed to get it off the ground and he's like... 29:37, 29:38. Like gets to 30 and he just drops and the sticks get pushed forward and he just nosedives.
No, I think it'd be awesome. It's like 30, and then it goes to 31 minutes, and then like the radio tells you, dude, land. I didn't expect to make it this long.
Yeah, wait, what do you do if you thought you were going to die? You do something with horrible consequences. You get to 30 minutes and then there's another second. You're like 31. Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Oh, sorry. We say 30 seconds. We meant 30 years.
Ooh, I'm spending my next 30 years in federal prison.
Looks like I'm spending my next 30 years dead because I drove drunk on the highway.
Luke, what about you?
I spent the next 30 years dead.
You wake up after 30 years.
Yeah.
Shit, that was epic.
Oh, man, that was poggers.
Oh, man, what a crazy 30 years that was.
What if like you guys were like at my grave, you were like, man, I still miss him, and like you all crack open a Miller at my grave and it's been 30 years and I crawl out, I'm like, holy shit, you won't believe the hangover I've got. I feel like one of you would like beat me to death with the bottle, like, ah!
I'd beat myself to death with the bottle because I'm drinking a Miller High Life.
You wouldn't crack open a Miller at my grave.
No.
I would.
What the fuck?
I would. I'd bring two. I'd pour one out.
Or just pour a Miller all over my tombstone.
You can pour mine out.
I'll pour out Luke's Miller, and then I'll fucking ice the Miller.
If I die first, I request that everybody at my funeral has to drink a Miller High Life. I don't care if you are a 2-year-old, you are drinking a Miller.
Timmy, drink the fucking beer.
Timmy's like, ah.
You like put it in his bottle and you're like...
Like the sippy cup thing on the rim.
I've already said if I die first, I want everyone to like have a party. I don't want anyone to be sad at my funeral.
Could I light fireworks?
I don't remember what song I said. I wanted there to be a specific song to play at my funeral.
Sorry for Party Rock.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it was.
I want everyone to play Sorry for Party Rockin', and then I don't want people to cry. And when you put me in the ground, pour out like a bottle of vodka on my grave.
Bacardi, Dragonberry Bacardi.
Yeah, there you go.
What, you know, I'm going to be like at your funeral, like dancing next to your casket, and then I'll like look over at your body. So, where do you go to school? Like trying to hit on you. Hey, I'm gonna go find some snatch. I'll be back. And I bring a girl back. This is my buddy Luke. She's like, oh,
He's dead.
he's dead. So you want to take him home tonight?
Oh.
He's totally live.
Like I have your eyes taped open.
I was like, man, I just don't want like people to be sad at my funeral. I want it to be I want people to be like, man, you lived a nice life, and then like just throw my body in the grave.
I want launched into space.
That's where I'm going.
Listen, dude, coffins are expensive. Just throw me in.
Actually, I saw an article the other day about they're making these new types of like burials. So it costs about the same as a traditional funeral and casket and tombstone. So, you know, it's not
Expensive
cheap.
as fuck.
Yeah, but it like costs the same as you would pay for that. They put you into like a biodegradable kind of ball, and then they put you in a coral reef, and then your body decomposes in there, and then like they put coral over it and shit, and so your body feeds the coral and everything, and you become a part of a coral reef.
It's kind of hard. That's
kinda
metal
sweet.
as fuck.
That's
Yeah.
metal as fuck.
So as your body decomposes, it feeds the coral reef around you.
That's
Catch
cool.
me being dropped into the coral reef and then being fed on by giant octopuses.
I want to go to space. Like, launch my body into space like Cassini, and
Luke,
just let me go.
That's where
And,
I'm going.
Like, how far am I going to go?
I'm going in the direction of the Horsehead Nebula.
Yeah,
When I
maybe I'll
get
make it there.
Yeah.
Launch mo.
Luke was one of my best friends. I'm going to miss him so much. And I just, you know, he wanted me to tell everybody that. Like he just wanted
Fair
everyone.
use, guys. It's fair use.
He just wanted everyone to know that.
Less than 5 seconds. We're fine.
I thought it was 15.
I thought it was 30.
I thought it was.
Well, fuck us then.
We're under all of them.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
good.
And Luke just want to let you know, launch my body into space.
No, it's a
Like, dude, imagine an alien civilization finds you like 300 light years away.
You wouldn't
What the-
decompose, would you?
Not in space, I don't think.
Hold on. An alien life form finds you 3 million
300 light years.
300 light years away, and you're like, what the fuck?
No, the aliens are like, yo, what's this guy doing here?
Fucking, you like wake up.
You're like, oh, that was a long 300
You're
light
like,
years.
what the fuck happened?
My 30 years are up already.
Man, what happened? Whoa, what the fuck? You all look really weird.
Or like you land on Mars and they're like, alien on Mars, but it's just you.
It's just your body.
Like, oh, that's just a dead guy.
The Mars rover runs over you.
It's like, we need to exchange insurance information, and Anthony's body is just kinda
Hold on,
rolling away.
go back. We need to exchange insurance information that backs up over your body.
Yo, I didn't know how huge the Mars rovers were.
They're
Big,
massive.
dude.
They're
They're like
big.
they're bigger
They're
than
fucking-
minivans. They're huge.
Mm,
Some of them, yeah. Curiosity's the size of a minivan. That's
that's
Curiosity.
fucking funny.
Why don't we just put a minivan on Mars?
Oh, the new Honda Odyssey.
Chrysler Pacifica on Mars. What are you going to do?
Mars safe.
Can you imagine if car companies started doing that to advertise their car? Like Mars is just littered with luxury vans.
None of them fucking work.
Yeah, it was all fun and games, so I put my Chrysler on Mars. Can you imagine the Mars rover up there exploring, and it's like, we've discovered a new kind of fucking canyon in Mars. It's awesome. Is that an Accord?
Holy shit, a 2021 Civic.
Is that an Accord?
Is that a Festiva?
Have you guys ever realized how specific like every like mathematical measurement they do to put things on Mars and shit like that?
I
never
I
looked
couldn't
into
even
it.
look at them and be like, "Wow, it kind of makes
Well,
sense."
It's not that, but I can't remember if it was a satellite. It might have been a rover that they were putting on Mars, and they converted from meters to kilometers to miles, I think. And in doing so, they left off like a millionth, so like 0.0001 or something like that. And that's the digit they left off because they thought that would be enough, and it fucking crashed
Oh,
because it was going too fast. It didn't slow down in time. It was expecting to slow down later, and then crashed, and they fucking destroyed it.
Imagine being the guru who fucked that up.
You're still pretty fucking smart.
And everyone's like, "Bruh," and he's like, "I thought it was enough."
Just send somebody up there to flip it over. It'll be all right.
Yeah, where's our technician?
Is that thing where they're like in a giant ball and they bounce? Is that real?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they land.
That's pretty epic.
That's not how the new rover landed. I think that was how Curiosity landed.
He goes,
Yeah, it hits the ground and just boom, boom, boom. The new one came in by like via jetpack. It was like,
and then it came with a fucking helicopter.
yeah, it has a the helicopter is actually way bigger than I thought too.
Well, it has to pick up a minivan.
No, the helicopter's
It was
like it's like a drone.
little big drone.
Oh yeah, the thing that like flies around after it like docks on it
Yeah.
and shit. Docking.
Yeah,
God,
go follow r/sounding.
I had one more thing, but I can't remember what it was.
Were you
So-
sorry for party rocking?
Guys, here at the Hello Harm, we're sorry for party rocking.
Party rock is in the house tonight.
I think that's the end of the episode.
Is there anything else anyone would like to say? Thorpe, any closing remarks?
Guys, we don't charge for this podcast. All that we ask is that if you take away anything from this or learn anything, that you share it with someone else. Like I said, we don't run ads on this podcast, even though there is one right in the beginning. And we do sponsor Hungry Man.
We don't.
You don't have to
We
pay
don't
anything.
sponsor
You don't
them.
have
We
to pay
don't.
anything.
We don't.
What kind of fucking remark is this?
Jonathan, we do not charge for this podcast. It is free, so you can listen to it whenever, wherever you want, as long as you have an internet connection and a computer. Just if you do get something from this podcast, like informative information, or you find something useful, or you take away anything, that we just ask that you share it. That is the fee that we charge on the Hello Harm podcast. Thank you.
I would like to reiterate, he said that if you learned something, so all you My Hero fans, you didn't learn anything, we already know you didn't. You can't fucking read,
Leave
can't
a dislike,
write.
you fucking nerds.
I hope you dislike it, actually. That would make me happier than if you
Report
liked
us
it.
for harassment.
If you like my podcast and you're a My Hero fan, it will make me mad.
You can go fuck yourself.
Fuck you. Oh, wait. Why are we still talking? There's no way they stuck around this long.
Let
Their
me
attention
speak, let me
span ran out
speak their
30 minutes
fucking
ago.
language. Ooga booga, I want to fuck a 13-year-old.
Let me speak their language.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Report us for
Yeah.
harassment.
To that dumbass that comments on our tweet, I don't care if you just turned 13. Fuck you.
All right, guys, that's the end of the Hello Harem podcast, episode 63. Thank you very much for sticking around. And like Anthony said, if you found anything interesting or insightful, go ahead and share the podcast. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the Hello Harem channel for new weekly podcasts. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much.